And thank you for being here today. I have a few comments I want to make before Lieutenant Smith is brought forward. March 28th, 2015 is a day the Kitsap community will not forget. Law enforcement will not forget. This is the day the two members of our community were murdered at their home. After many weeks of extensive investigative work, I'm pleased to announce that our detectives made an arrest this morning of Geraldo Castro De Jesus. He'll be arraigned on Monday. But today is not about him. Today is about two victims, Heather Kelso and 2-year-old Caden Bloom. These are the names I want you to remember today. We stand here in support of Heather and Caden's families and friends who are also victims of these crimes as they have to suffer through the next several months as we prepare for trial. Our entire community is being affected by these murders. As you report the news today, I ask that you don't forget these victims as we move this case forward in the criminal justice system. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. As we continue working the case and continue to seek justice, keep them in your thoughts and remember the names of Heather and Caden. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce Lieutenant Earl Smith, our detectives lieutenant, to provide you with further information. Earl?
Thank you, Sheriff. Well, as you know, as Sheriff Simpson just said, today we made an arrest at approximately 8:30 this morning at the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, where the suspect, Geraldo Castro De Jesus, works. He's 30 years of age. Detectives arrested him without incident with the assistance of NCIS. This has been a very difficult investigation. As you know, it happened back in March, and we're not making an arrest until today because there was a lot of work that had to be done. There were several agencies involved. There was crime scenes to process, forensic evidence to examine. We've been working with the crime lab. We've been working with the prosecutor's office and other law enforcement agencies. As you know, Mr. De Jesus, he was booked into the Kitsap County Jail this morning for 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of assault in the first degree. His bail has been set at $2 million. There was a valid order for protection against Geraldo De Jesus, protecting Heather Kelso at the time of the murder. And victim Heather Kelso and Mr. De Jesus, they do have an infant child in common, and that child is currently placed by Child Protective Services. No matter what I say today, or even with the arrest, we're not going to change the events back in March. Nothing's going to bring back Heather or Caden. But I hope in just some small way that with this arrest, it'll help the family members just a little bit with the healing process as we do go through this criminal justice process. With this arrest, the investigation does not conclude. We're still interviewing people, and we're continuing with the investigation, and we will work with the prosecutor's office as they process the case. So I'm here to answer any questions that you may have. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
What was the information that you guys had that led you to this arrest?
Well, it's been a very long and exhaustive investigation. It wasn't one piece of information that led us to the arrest. It's kind of like a puzzle, if you will. A lot of pieces to it, and we had to get all those pieces in place to paint a picture. We had to paint a picture for the prosecutor's office. We wanted to make sure that we had all the available information that we could, all the evidence that we could, so that they would be able to review the case file, make a charging decision, and which they have, and take it to trial if it needs to be. And so that's what took so long. It wasn't just one piece of evidence. It was a lot of work and a lot of different evidence that came together.
What's the motive for this? Domestic violence, and why was the child a part of it?
Well, it is domestic violence. What the motive is, I have no idea, Keith, why an individual would kill 2 people, why an individual would kill a 2-year-old. So that I can't answer. That makes no sense.
Is this the original guy that you guys checked on his home on the very next day? And so was this guy the one you had your eye on from the very start?
Well, to answer the question it is the same individual that we contacted that morning of. But on any investigation, we follow wherever the evidence leads. And that's where the evidence led us to. Like I said, we've been in consultation with the prosecutor's office with the evidence that we have, and they made a charging decision, and an arrest warrant was issued, and he was arrested on that warrant.
Can you tell us some of the key pieces of information, or the key puzzle pieces that recently came together to make you go, aha?
There's so much, and there's a 9-page probable cause statement that we will make available to you. But some of it is like shell casings. We had to have electronics analyzed, a lot of forensic evidence had to be analyzed, and a lot of that just took a lot of time. So there's not just one piece of evidence. There's just a lot to the case. So there's not just one piece of evidence.
What was his demeanor when you arrested him?
He was cooperative. He was arrested without incident.
Is he active duty, Navy?
No, he's not. He just works for Puget Sound Naval Shipyard.
So was it weird to allow him to continue, I don't know that you could have done anything else, but to allow him to continue to work there 6 months in this kind of a secure environment, knowing that he's probably could very well be the guy you're looking for?
Well, we got to keep in mind that there was never an arrest warrant for the last 6 months for him. The arrest warrant was issued yesterday, and we arrested him today. So that's something to keep in mind, because we want to keep an open mind of who the suspect is, or who the suspects may be. And so, like I said, we followed where the evidence led, and that's where it led to.
Was there any concern for safety of his coworkers?
I don't believe we had any concerns for his coworkers, no.
Earl, do you think that Lum was targeted by De Jesus, or was he in fact collateral damage? That he was after Kelso and De Jesus, and Caden Lum was just there?
I mean, I have my own personal opinions, but I can't say definitively if he targeted Caden, or if, like he put it, he was collateral damage. I don't know, and I can't positively tell you one way or the other.
Was the baby Ava staying with him when this happened?
Ava was not there that night.
And she wasn't at her father's house either?
That's correct.
A different relative?
Ava was staying somewhere else.
At the night of the shooting, how much time elapsed between the shooting and when officers first contacted the suspect?
He was contacted about 8 o'clock in the morning, but we had his residence under surveillance since 5 in the morning. The call came into 911 about 2:18, so it was probably just under 3 hours.
Okay. And what was his alias?
What do you mean, what was his alias?
What did he say? What was his excuse for saying he wasn't at the scene of the crime?
Well, he was at home, and all that is in the probable cause statement. Yeah.
What's the make and model of the vehicle that was impounded?
It's he has that vehicle back. It's a black Honda.
Okay.
But he has that back.
Okay.
What key pieces of evidence were found in the search warrants when you looked through his home and car? Can you say?
Through his car.
Well, didn't you have a search warrant for a vehicle?
We have searched his vehicle.
What evidence, if any, did you find there?
That'd be better left if you read the probable cause statement, because I don't want to misquote exactly what was found and what wasn't found and where. And Deputy Scott Wilson, he is available to hand out probable cause statements for those that don't have it. We also have family members here of the victims that Deputy Ken Dickinson here, he can help you with and coordinate with for those family members that would like to speak with the media. We're here to support them and do everything we can to help them out too.
Did
Okay,
anybody
thank
wa-
you.